be genuine and to respect the cultural roots, I might make mistakes sometimes. So feel free to correct me because yoga is always a learning journey. I just want to check that everyone can hear me properly.
Yes, ma'am.
Could you say thumbs up in the comments if you can?
Oh, hello, ma'am.
Absolutely,
How
ma'am,
are you
absolutely.
doing?
Yes, thanks to you. Nice to meet you. I can't see any of you, but it's nice to hear your voices.
It's nice to have you here, ma'am.
Thanks. Thank you very much. So the theme of today is going to be yoga that we can use to calm down after a busy day, like at school, at university, at work. I think a lot of you are around the same age as me. We're just kind of starting out in the adult world, and it can feel kind of overwhelming. So I think a great place to start in a yoga class is Balasana, child's pose in English. So we're going to come to sit with our heels under our buttocks, knees forward, thighs close together. Then we're going to bring the knees apart and slowly walk our hands forward along the ground.
Excuse me, ma'am. Sorry to interrupt.
No problem.
Ma'am, actually, we have a little intro part before we start the session. So can we go
Okay.
on with it?
Yes, please do.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. So, a very good afternoon to everyone present over here. I am Harshita Rathi, and on behalf of Nss Sce, it's my absolute pleasure to welcome you all to this deeply meaningful celebration, International Yoga Day 2025. Together, we gather under a theme that is not just powerful but necessary: yoga for one earth, one health. And because, let's be real, we are only healthy till our earth is healthy. So, yoga isn't just about asanas or inner peace, it's about the harmony with yourself and the world around you. So, today is not just a physical activity, it's a journey inward. And so, before we stretch our bodies, let's stretch our awareness. And yoga is not just a fitness fad, it's a wisdom tradition over 5,000 years old, which was first mentioned in the Rig Veda. And as the Bhagavad Gita says, Yoga karmasu kaushalam. Yoga is skill in action. And honestly, in a world filled with deadlines, distractions, and digital overload, we all need something that brings us back to ourselves. Yoga teaches us how to pause. So, now let's start. Let's take a deep breath and center ourselves and get ready to begin this experience, not just with posture, but with presence. So get ready, stretch your backs, mute your distractions, and let's dive into the peace mode together. But before we flow into our asanas and affirmations, it's time for a special, soulful, and sensational moment. For that, I would now like to hand over this webinar to Anushka.
Thank you, Harshita. Namaste and good afternoon to all the wonderful participants joining us today. I'm Anushka Singh, your host for today's vibrant yoga webinar conducted by Nss Sce on the occasion of International Yoga Day. आज 21 जून 2025 अंतर्राष्ट्रीय योग दिवस के इस विशेष अवसर पर हम आप सभी का इस वेबिनार में स्वागत करते हैं. The chapter 6, verse 16 of the Bhagavad Gita says, Yogi bhavati dukhahi, meaning the yogi becomes the remover of sorrow. In other words, the yogi is free from pain and sadness and rises above the suffering. Behind every successful initiative is a team of believers, and behind every team is a mentor who shows the way. We are truly blessed to be guided by such remarkable mentors. We extend our deepest gratitude to Dr. Kajal Parashar Ma'am, Deputy Director of the CEC Program and Program Coordinator of the KIIT DU, NSS Bureau, whose unwavering support and leadership continues to illuminate our path. We also sincerely thank Mr. Prabhat Kumar Raut Sir, Program Coordinator, KIIT NSS Bureau, for being a consistent guiding force behind the success of our initiatives. A special acknowledgement to Dr. Minakhi Raut Ma'am, Dr. Subhashri Darshana Ma'am, Mr. Raghunath De Sir, and Dr. Ajay Kumar Parida Sir, dedicated program officers of the NSS School of Computer Engineering. Their vision and efforts have been instrumental in shaping this event from the ground up. Their mentorship, along with support of our faculty and coordinators, has truly been the backbone of this journey. We extend our heartfelt thanks to the administration of KIIT University for their continuous encouragement and faith in us. A special thanks to Professor Dr. Saranjeet Singh Sir, Honorable Chancellor of KIIT DU, for his dynamic and inspiring presence, and to Professor Dr. Gyanaranjan Mohanty Sir, respected Registrar KIIT DU, for his steady support and kindness. We are deeply grateful. And finally, with immense respect and joy, we extend our heartfelt thanks and a warm welcome to our Honorable Founder Sir, Professor Dr. Achyuta Samanta Sir. Your vision of service, education, and empowerment inspires every step we take. We are honored by your presence and forever guided by your ideals. On this special occasion of the International Yoga Day, we are pleased to welcome a dedicated yoga teacher whose journey reflects passion, care, and a strong sense of community. Joining us from Pietermaritzburg, South Africa, Ms. Daffodil de Jager is a Vinyasa yoga instructor currently working at the Virgin Active Lifestyle Center. She holds a 200-hour yoga teacher training certification and a level 2 first aid qualification, ensuring that her classes are both effective and safe. Ms. Daffodil enjoys working with people and being part of a team. She takes pride in creating positive experiences for others and ensuring that everyone feels welcome and valued. With strong communication skills, the ability to listen actively, solve problems calmly, and make people feel heard, she builds meaningful connections with her students and team members. Today, we are grateful to have her with us. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Daffodil de Jager, whose dedication to yoga and helping others truly represents the spirit of this occasion. Thank you for being here. Let's begin this beautiful journey together. आइए इस यात्रा की शुरुआत करते हैं शांति, ऊर्जा और एक नए संकल्प के साथ. So please put your virtual hands together. Zoom reactions ready for our honorable chief guest. So now I would like to address our guest, Ms. Daffodil, to take over the meeting.
Thank you so much.
Ma'am, you can start the session now.
Are we ready to go? I see there are some people in the waiting room still. Should we admit them in and then we can get started? That was a really beautiful speech.
Ma'am, actually the meeting has reached the limit. That's why we won't be able to allow them. We can start with this. They are also seeing on the YouTube live.
And they can join on YouTube also.
Perfect. Thank you so much for being here today, everyone. I'm really excited to be doing this with you. And thank you so much for the beautiful introduction. I am Daffodil de Jager, and I am a South African citizen, but today I am joining you from Tønsberg, Norway, where I have been very lucky to go on student exchange. It is the summer solstice here today. It's the longest day of the year, and I think it's really cool that that happens to fall on International Yoga Day. I also think it's amazing that the internet allows me from so far away, from another country and another continent, to connect with you all. The power of yoga truly is uniting. I think it is likely that in this meeting we have people with different levels of experience with yoga, maybe some true beginners, maybe some people have had a personal practice for years. I am also quite early in my yoga journey, but I am happy to teach what I can, and I would be delighted to learn from you as well. Today, I'd like to start with some warm-up and pranayama activities. We're going to focus on warm-ups that we can adapt as exercises in a small place like a desk, a classroom, your bedroom. After that, I would like to go through a short vinyasa flow sequence because this is a kind of movement that I personally really enjoy. Moving my body helps me to get out of my mind and into myself. It helps me to forget the stress of the day and to approach whatever I have to do next with positivity and calm. I hope it'll work well for you too. Before we start, I'd like to ask if anyone has any medical conditions or injuries, if they could just please be aware of that, move very slowly, take a break if you need it, and never push past the point of mild discomfort. If you ever feel pain while enjoying a yoga sequence, you should definitely stop, rest, and only move on when you feel comfortable. I would like everybody to come to a kneeling position. Sitting bones over the heels, knees facing forward, thighs together. We're going to move into Balasana.
Hello.
I guess there's some internet connection problem for
Yeah, I
him
guess
from
there
his
is some
side.
maintenance issue.
Let's wait till then and let's get ready for the session. Until then, tell me how many of you are excited for this session. Drop down in the chat.
Are we able to come into child's pose? As previously stated, come into balasana, stretching with our knees apart, the feet under sitting bones, stretching our hands forward. Walking the arms forward until we have our arms stretched out fully. And when we reach a full, good, deep stretch, we can lay our forehead down upon the mat. I would like you to breathe here for a few moments. Try and forget everything that has happened before you came into this moment and everything that is going to happen once you leave the class. What is happening right now is the only important thing. Concentrate on the feeling of your body against the mat or against the floor. Work to deepen your breath. Try to synchronize the inhale and exhale, making both long, smooth, and steady. If it is in your practice, you might like to make a slight constriction in your throat, allowing the breath to flow smoothly and almost silently. This is the Uyaji breath. As you face downwards in this position, attempt to listen to your heart beating. Can you hear the rhythm inside yourself? This rhythm is an all of nature, and we are connected to it. All of our hearts are beating together, even though we are so far apart. When you're ready, I would like you to walk your hands back towards your knees, slowly and mindfully, and then bring your knees together. Sitting in Virasana, I would like you to pull your spine upwards. Keep your chin parallel to the ground, your spine straight. Push your shoulders back. Keep your chest open to breathe. Breathe in deeply on the count of 5. And breathe out again. Slowly, controlled breath. If that is accessible for you, I would like you to transfer into a Padmasana or lotus position, but that is not accessible for everyone. So a Swastikasana, normal cross-legged seated position is also great. I'm just going to move the video so I think you will be able to see me a little better. And we're going to start with a warm-up that I think works really well if you're in an office environment or somewhere where you don't have a lot of space. So I think I'm going to sit this way so you can see. And I want you to push your chest out, upwards through your arms, opening your lungs to the sky, taking as big of a breath as you can. Inhale, push your shoulder blades back strongly. And as you exhale, I'd like you to round the spine, bring the chin down to the chest, stretching, and then inhaling again, pushing the chest forward, shoulder blades together, and exhale, and inhale. If you could repeat this 2 more times in your own time, and come back to meet on the mat in a neutral cross-legged position. These set of movements is very helpful for people who have been sitting at a desk all day because it counteracts that hunched back position that you and often adopt. And it is appropriate for almost anyone. You just need to go to the point where it feels comfortable for you. If you have any back problems, this would be an exercise to avoid. When you're ready, I would like you to move into a Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog position. We're going to start in a tabletop position, hands, knees under hips, wrists under shoulders. Then I would like you to push up on the balls of your feet, pushing up into a triangle position. We're going to walk the hands a bit forward so we find a comfortable position. Try and imagine you're an equilateral triangle, all sides the same length. Feel the connection of your hands to the ground, your feet to the ground. Feet should be about shoulder width apart. So have the hips pushing up towards the sky. And this one is a really great stretch for the backs of the legs. It's also a great stretch for the shoulders, the spine, the arms. In fact, this is a really great full body stretch. It's simple, it's basic, but it works. You can practice feeling how it feels when you push your heels closer to the ground or lift them a little bit higher. How far can you push your hips up to the side? Then I would like you to begin walking out your feet. So it's lifting one foot, stretching the other, lifting the other foot. Yeah, just move how it feels right for you. Now let's move forward into a plank position. Once again, we're going to have the shoulders over the wrists. We're going to try and keep the spine straight. And from there, we're going to ease forward into Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward facing dog. Or we can go into a cobra pose. The main difference is that for upward facing dog, you would keep your knees off the floor, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. You would be really reaching, bend your back as much as feels appropriate and comfortable for you. Whereas the cobra is a bit of a more gentle stretch, where you'll be going to be keeping the thighs on the floor, and you can even bend the elbows a little. Look upwards if that's accessible to you. And then we're going to transition back to downward facing dog. And forwards to plank again. Feel the strength in your arms. So down and up. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Forwards and up. And we will meet back in Adho Mukha Svanasana. This is a good place to take a balasana, child's pose. Take a break if you need one. In fact, you're always welcome to take a child's pose if you need one. When you're ready, I would like you to transfer back up into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Find that triangle shape again. Walk out your hips, and then we're going to lift the left leg up. Try and keep it straight and lined with the spine, pushing the heel back, the toes facing down. Then we're going to slowly move the knee forward, bringing it under the chest and setting it down, the feet between your hands. Here you can take a moment to rock your hips back and forth, feel how it feels to you. This can be quite an intense hip stretch. Only go as far as it feels comfortable. You might want to work back onto your sitting bones, onto the other foot, back and then forward. This is a great stretch for the inner thighs. And we're now going to move back onto the other side. So we're going to bring the right leg up. We're going to move it forward and set it down between the hands. You can uncurl your feet at this point if you want to. You can move backwards and forwards a little bit, so you feel comfortable. You can also stay in a neutral position if that's feeling a stretch for you. So back, forward, and back up to Ardha Mukha Svanasana. I'd like to meet everyone back in Virasana, kneeling position. Just at this point, I'd like to check in, make sure that everyone can hear me, everyone can see me, and that everyone understands. It's much harder this way than with a class where I can see everyone in front of me. Could someone unmute themselves and tell me how this is going?
Yes, ma'am, this is going really well. We all can see you. We all are doing as you're instructing us.
Sorry, I wasn't able to hear that.
Yes, ma'am, we can see you, we can hear you. And many of us are doing yoga as you're instructing us.
Yes, that's perfectly fine. You're welcome to come look back in this video if you want to, or you're welcome to just sit there and watch. That's not a problem for me, but I am really enjoying my yoga class, and it'd be great if anyone does want to join along with me.
Yes, ma'am, we also really enjoy.
So what
Everyone
we're going to go through
do join.
is a great full body warm-up that I'm pretty sure a lot of you are familiar with. Surya Namaskar, sun salutations in English. And we're going to start with what I know is Surya Namaskar A. We're going to start in mountain pose, Tadasana. That's feet approximately hip width apart. Shoulders back, hands by the sides. Try and keep the spine straight, the core pulled in. Stand proud and steady. From there, I like to inhale my arms in a large circle above the head. At the peak of the inhale, take a gentle back bend. And then exhale, bending forward. Folding forward as far as it's comfortable for you. So maybe we might be a bit stiff, especially at the beginning of the class. You're going to see if you can reach your fingertips to the floor. Try and move your chest towards your legs instead of trying to get your hands down to the ground. And we're going to inhale up to a half forward fold. So you can slide your hands up your legs. Keep your back straight. Gaze forward. Exhale back to a forward fold. And we're going to step or hop back to Ardha Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. From there, let's flow forward. And from there have an option. I personally like to start with my knees on the ground. Bring my chest and chin to the floor. And then come to a prone position. But if you are familiar with chaturanga, that is a great way pose to work in here. And keeping the hands where they are, and come up to cobra pose, stretching out your back, and keep the arms bent a little, elbows bent, elbows close into your thighs, looking up. And then we're going to slowly transition back to downward facing dog. And there, we step apart back to the front of the mat. I'm actually practicing on grass right now. It's a great feeling beneath feet, but wherever you are, you're going to come to a forward fold. And then you need to bring the arms back above the head, right? Slowly. Bring your hands to a namaskar position above your head and slowly draw them down the midline. Bringing them to rest at your heart center. And now I would like everyone who's following along with me to repeat this sequence on the opposite side. And start by bringing the arms back above the head on an inhale. Exhale down to a forward fold. Inhale to a half fold. And exhale to fold again. Let's move back to downward facing dog. If you're stepping, now you're stepping with the other foot. Finding that triangular position and then flowing forward, strong, straight back. Then knees to the ground, or you could decide to take a chaturanga. That's for keeping the spine straight, keeping the elbows tucked in, and we're pointing down to the front. From there, rise up, and we move back to Adho Mukha Svanasana. Then step or hop back to the front of the mat, forward fold, and then we stretch up, hands to namaskar, down, center of the midline, hands resting at your chest. This is one exercise I really like, and I also really like to show beginner yogis because it exercises almost every part of your body. It feels great and gets you moving.
Thank you, ma'am. I will interrupt.
That is really good for relaxation,
Hello.
but also provides a gentle stretch. So we're going to come to a Tadasana, mountain pose again. We're going to stretch, hinging forward from the hips, stretching the front body forward, gazing forward, half forward fold. And then we're going to relax down, letting our hands dangle. My yoga teachers like to call this the ragdoll pose. We're going to bring the hands to clasp the opposite elbows and the head down between the hands. And we can just sway here, trying to move our weight a bit forward. Feeling a gentle stretch in the back of your knees, back of your thighs. If the stretch is too much for you, you can always bend your knees. This is another great relaxation pose. When you're ready, I'd like you to try and roll up to a standing position, rolling one vertebra at a time, straightening up slowly until you're standing. I would really like to go through a vinyasa flow sequence with you. You don't need to do the sequence with me, but you might want to save it for later. Once again, we are going to be starting in Tadasana at the front of your mat if you're working on a mat. Once again, I want to remind you that you're welcome to take a child's pose or just stop completely if something isn't comfortable. Once again, let's breathe the hands up over the top of the head, bringing them down to the midline, centering yourself. Inhale up again. Keep your hands stretching up. See how far you can stretch up into the sky, how tall you can make yourself. And then we're going to sit back into Utkatasana chair pose. This is a really uncomfortable position, but it's also really useful. Often the most uncomfortable poses are. So I want you to keep your back straight, bend your knees as much as it's a little bit uncomfortable for you. And then we're going to inhale and exhale into Uttanasana, standing forward fold. From there, I like to step back the right foot back with the right foot at a 45-degree angle. Left foot stays facing forward. And I would like to bend the front knee that we're coming up into Warrior One. This is probably a very familiar posture for you. We're going to want to try and keep the front thigh as parallel to the floor as possible. Hands facing straight up, stretching, breathing. You can take a little back bend at this point. I want to keep the back leg straight. And then if you would like to, you're welcome to twist your body to the side, transitioning into Warrior Two. I would like you to windmill your hands down the frame of front foot. Get back into downward facing dog. Find a comfortable position there. And then we're going to lift the right foot up again. Heel facing backwards, feet facing down. Try and keep your leg aligned with spine. And then bring that back knee forward under the chest and set the knee down between your hands. Shuffle the hands a bit back. We're coming into Kapodasana, pigeon pose. And if it's accessible for you, you might want to bring your back foot up and grab it with your left hand. Bring your foot towards you. And if that's still comfortable, you might want to lift your front foot, front hand up, bringing the thumb and forefinger together. And find a gaze point to focus your eyes and balance. And we're going to come out slowly or fall out. It really does not matter. We're going to put our back foot firmly on the floor, tuck the toes under, come back to Ekapada, Adho Mukha Svanasana, three-legged down facing dog, and back down facing dog. From there, I'd like you to set your knees down on the floor and stretch your hands forward. Forward, forward, and forward. And when they're as stretched as they can be, I would like you to see if you can move your chest down towards the floor. Chest and chin down. We're keeping the sitting bones up, knees down. So an intense back stretch. Anahavasana, the pose of the horse. I've also heard this one called the pose of the cat sometimes. When you're ready, we can come up to downward facing dog. Stretch out there. And then walk back. Strengthening that. Take the forward fold. Listen up. And stretch the arms back up. Up there. Bring hands down to Namaste. The front of your chest. Thumbs pressing into your stomach. Fingers pressing away from the chin. I would like to practice this on the other side, but as I see you haven't got so much time in front of us, so feel free to pause this video and repeat the same practice on the other side in your own time. I'm going to go through some cool down postures and maybe some pranayama. Shavasana also, that's very important. Oh, for when we cool down, I like to start in a seated position and slowly move on to a lying down position from there. We've done a lot of back bends and forward bends in this session. I'm going to keep the arms down back gentle and maybe a gentle twist. And we're going to start with another forward bend. We're going to come into Dandasana, staff pose, so that's the torso at 90 degrees to the legs. We got the toes facing up. We got the heels pushing forward. So there's a wall in front of you. And from there, we want to stretch up, arms to the ceiling, and fold, trying to reach as far forward as you can. When you think you've reached your end, you're welcome to find your hands placed on your legs wherever is comfortable. You don't have to push anymore. If you can grab toes or wrap your fingers around the balls of feet, that's also great. And we're going to start looking forward before we bring the gaze down. Try and relax here, right? And admit the pain a little though. If there's discomfort, if there's genuine pain, probably stop it. And we're going to come out slowly, stretch it out of it, and then let's bring the right knee up, bring into the chest, and I'm going to keep my left hand planted on the ground, my right hand up, stretching to the sky, and I'm going to lean my whole body forward. See if I can get my right shoulder close to the inside of my right knee. Just find a place for my hand to rest on the floor next to my right knee. And you can take your left hand back. Try to stretch. You bring the hand up if that's more comfortable. Keep the head, arm pushing against the inside of the knee. You could take your gaze backwards if that feels comfortable for you. We're going to come back to a Dandasana position. We're going to raise the left knee. Stretch the left arm forward. Stretch the left arm back. You can find a place for your hand on the floor. And as you straighten your spine, nice and easy. So you're going to keep the right hand planted behind you. Next place, and stretch your spine. Maybe look backward. And come back to face forward. Back into Dandasana. And we're slowly going to lever ourselves back into a lying down position, back flat on the mat. Roll your spine down. Now, at this point, I often like to end my yoga practice with an inversion. We're going to go for a gentler inversion this time, but if you want to go straight into Shavasana, feel free to spread your arms and legs out and roll. However, I am going to keep my knees bent, my back flat on the mat, and I'm going to raise my knees up, bring them into my chest. I'm going to stretch my feet up into like imagine Dandasana for sitting on the ground. And you can keep your hands, palms flat on the ground and see if you can lever your body up a little. At this point, you're going to want to bring your hands to support your lower back. That's a very important part of this. And see if you can lever your feet up into Sarvangasana, the shoulder side. Going to keep the heels pointing upwards. And we're just going to try and breathe here. Try not to push the in too much into the chest. We want to not constrict the breathing. If you do feel your breathing constricted, slowly bend the knees and roll yourself back down to a flat position on it. From there, I'd like everybody to stretch their legs out to the side, their arms out to the side, leaving a bit of space between your torso and your arms. And we are coming into Shavasana. You can close your eyes if that's comfortable. And I'd like you to deepen the breath. You might want to imagine that your torso your lungs are divided into three sections. There's an upper section, a middle, and a lower. Breathe in and out normally. Feel your body clear of breath. And then I want you to start breathing into the lower section of your lungs. And then up into the middle section. And then filling the upper section of your chest. And holding the breath there. And then slowly try and release the breath from the upper section of your chest, from the middle section, and from the lower section. This way we know that we fully breathe into every part of our life. Try that again, about 2 or 3 times in your own time. And when you're ready, relax into the Shavasana. When you're ready to come out of Shavasana, I'd like you to focus on the feeling of your body and the mind. I'd like you to try curling your fingers and stretching your toes. Maybe move your foot for a second. Then I would like you to curl your knees up to your chest, keeping your back flat and flat. And then bring your arms around hug your knees as if you're hugging yourself. You need it. Then you're welcome to take a gentle rock from side to side, feeling that massage in your lower back and your kidneys. And on your left side with your head cradled by your upper arm, your other hand resting gently in front of you. And then to push yourself up into a seated position. I want to inhale, raising your arms above your head in a circle, bringing your hands together at the peak of the inhale, and exhaling down the center, breathing in and out, thanking yourself for showing up today. And I thank you for being here with me. Namaste.
Thank you, ma'am, for guiding us with patience and wisdom, helping us connect with our inner selves, and inspiring us to embrace healthier lifestyles. Your teachings have truly made yoga an enriching experience. With the yoga practice now complete, we extend our heartfelt thanks to Ms. Daffodil for her efforts. We will now move on to the next segment, which features a question and answer session with the instructor. If anyone has questions, be it about the postures, breathing techniques, or the practice itself, you're warmly invited to ask them now. You can raise your hands or drop your questions in the chat box, and I would like to now call upon Anushka to take on the webinar from here.
Thank you. I'll now be taking over the question and answer session and guiding us through your questions. Let's begin with our first question. Please raise your hands or drop your questions in the chat box.
What is the best way for beginners to start their yoga journey? Well, I think that my start of my yoga journey involved people, and we're all social creatures. A connection can really make a huge difference. So I think you should find a class in your area and try it out. If you feel uncomfortable being in front of the class, you're afraid you'll make mistakes, then don't worry, just find a place at the back. Everyone will understand that you're a beginner.
Thank you, ma'am, for answering that question. There's another question from Laksh. Can you please unmute yourself and ask your question?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question. I'm just going to go and look at the chat, see if I can see anything. Oh, yes, please do. Oh, before I move on, another great way to start your yoga journey is that there are a lot of online classes that you can follow along. If you go and look on YouTube, there's so many yoga teachers that you can try out. And even if you don't resonate with the first one, not everyone really gets on with every yoga teacher's style of teaching. Just like move on to someone else. What is the hardest yoga pose according to me? Well, I'm someone who really battles with finding peace in my own mind. I really battle with stopping my thoughts from just going round and round and round in my head. So for me, I think the most difficult pose is probably Shavasana. It was really, really hard for me to stop just worrying and thinking all the time when I was lying there. So I started focusing on something specific about how it felt to be inside my body. I started focusing on hearing my heartbeat. I couldn't do that when I started. I focused on listening to it. And I think that is not everyone's hardest pose. In fact, probably not most people's hardest pose, but it's often a mistake to think that the hardest yoga pose is the one which takes the most flexibility or most balance, because yoga isn't just physical practice. Oh, great. We have a lot of questions. Is there any is there any common misconception about yoga which you'd like to correct? Well, I don't know about what the common misconceptions are in your area, but in my yoga classes, I found a lot of people thinking that yoga is either just a workout or that it's not a workout at all. People often think, oh, I went to a yoga class, I like why aren't you sweating? And someone who went to a yoga class, for example, a yin yoga class, might have gotten a great sense of peace from that, whereas someone else might be looking for a yoga class that gives them a feeling of exhilaration. And I think yoga can be different for everyone. Is there any yoga to overcome overthinking? For me, Vinyasa yoga helps me overcome overthinking, because when you're moving, it's very hard to remember what you're worrying about. And I always feel more relaxed after a yoga class. What does it truly mean to live a yogic lifestyle? That's a big question. I'm just kind of starting on my yoga journey in a way. I'm not a very experienced yoga teacher, although I love what I'm doing. But I try and be genuine to the roots of yoga. I try and learn the Sanskrit names for the yoga poses, and I learn about the yamas and the niyamas. I think the way that you can practice a yogic lifestyle is to do genuine research into all the limbs of yoga and try and remember them even when you're not on the mat. What motivated me? No, let's see. What is the best time to practice yoga, and how can it uplift? I think a lot of people say that yoga should be practiced in the morning, say, or like you should avoid yoga during certain times of the day, or you should set aside a special time for yoga in your day. But I think that the best time to practice yoga is when you need it, when you have time and when you're feeling stressed. Because there's no better time than now to get started on something. What motivated you to start your yoga journey? I was a young teenager during the COVID pandemic, and I was going crazy at home with just my parents. I didn't have any siblings. I was feeling really lonely and frustrated. I started following yoga tutorials online, and that gave me a feeling like I had something constructive to do and like I had a way to find peace. Can stretching be replaced by yoga? Well, a lot of yoga is stretching. So yes, I think yoga includes so much more than just stretching exercises, but it's never a bad thing to add more to your physical practice than you had before. So yes, yoga is stretching, but with many other wonderful elements that you can add to it. What should I focus on more? Balance, strength, or breath in a pose? That's also a pretty hard question. I think I like to focus on what is hardest for me, because if you find something really difficult and you always want to kind of avoid that part of the practice, then it's often a sign that you need it. And you shouldn't be embarrassed to be battling with something, because everyone does. When I lose my breath during flow, should I pause or adjust pace? I think I like to pause, wait until we start with a new breath cycle and move in from there, but that's really a personal choice. Is there a quick breathing technique I can use before exams or presentations to calm my nerves? This is a great question. I was writing exams last year and I did a lot of yogic breathing during my exam time. I personally liked the alternate nostril breathing style. Because it had enough steps that I had to really concentrate and I couldn't concentrate and freaking out. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, you're going to have your thumb on one side of your nose and you're going to have your first two fingers on the other side, your middle fingers pressed against your forehead, and you're going to breathe. You're going to lift your thumb, you're going to breathe in, and then breathe out through the other side of your nose, lifting your other fingers. You're going to then breathe in through that side of the nose, lift your thumb and breathe out again. And that's my personal quick exam breathing technique. How to keep up the yoga journey. I started doing yoga, but keeping up the routine is hard. How do you motivate yourself for it? I agree, it is hard. What I like to do is find someone to practice with me, like a friend, a family member. Sometimes even if you have like your dog or your cat, and they're obviously not going to be practicing yoga, but if you have someone to be with while you're exercising, that's something that I really think keeps me motivated. But something else is if you like set an alarm for a certain time every day, you make a plan to wake up every morning, it can make it a habit. I know I said that I don't believe that you have to make a plan, but it can help to keep you motivated. Does practicing yoga in the morning have more benefits than evening sessions? I think it just has different benefits. Practicing yoga in the morning would be setting you up to start your day with a clear mind, but practicing yoga in the evening would be able to calm you down, get you focused, ready for sleep, and both are definitely admirable. You could have a little yoga session morning and evening. It doesn't have to be long. 5 minutes will be better than no minutes. What are the signs of progress in yoga? I'm pretty sure that if you practice, the sign of progress in yoga is that you have been practicing yoga. Sometimes you can't see the benefits. You think you're no closer to achieving a full split, your full Hanumanasana. You think, what am I even doing? But maybe you're achieving more mental stability, or maybe you just can't see your improvement because you've been there through the whole process. You could ask someone else. You could take a photo. You could take a photo of you in one of the asanas, and then 2 months later, you take another picture of the same asana, and you see how much it's changed. Or you could consider how well you respond to stressful situations. You could keep a diary, right? Today, someone did something that really bothered me. This is how I responded. And you can look back at it in 2 months and think, would I still respond like that? How do you recommend tuning into the breath when the mind is especially restless? I find that counting helps. Like if you decide that each breath is going to be 3 seconds, 4 seconds long, then you can have something to do with your mind that'll stop you from having other thoughts. Ma'am, can we have a myth-busting session? Well, I'm going to answer the next question first, and then that sounds like a really cool idea. What asana would you recommend for the people who sit for a long time? A single asana for people who sit too long. Well, okay, this one might sound a little weird, but I actually think that Utkatasana chair pose is a great one for people who sit too long, because even though it's a similar position, you are using your own muscles to create that position. So you're no longer relying on a chair to keep the position for you, and you're also stretching your spine out in a way that is very often crumpled in when you are sitting down. But general, for people who are sitting down, one of the most beneficial things is to move. So if you could like take even a very short time to do a quick flow, even like a seated flow where you're like moving in, out of poses, just raise your arms above your head, raise the other arm, raise your legs out, clench and unclench your calf muscles, your thigh muscles. I think that's the best quick reset you can do. Then myth busting session. Does anyone want to say something?
Ma'am,
Does
sorry
anyone
to
have any
interrupt.
myths that they'd like me to bust?
Yes, ma'am,
Yeah.
a lot of them.
Ma'am, we have gathered a
Go-
few popular myths that people still believe in yoga about. And could you
Yeah.
please help us bust a few of them for our audience?
So, a myth.
I'll read them one by one.
Excuse me? Sorry, I didn't hear very well. Can you take it?
I'll read them one by one, and we'd love to hear your expert take on them. Should we start?
Yes, absolutely. I'm
Okay, to begin
not
with,
sure I'm really an expert, but I would be delighted to share what I know.
yeah. So, should I start?
Yes, please do.
Okay, to begin with, here's something most beginners are curious about. Ma'am, is that true that one must practice yoga for long hours daily to see the real benefits?
For a long time.
Yeah, like for long hours
No,
to
I
see
think
the.
the benefits start immediately. Being able to see them might be difficult, but even if you practice yoga for 10 minutes once, you're immediately getting a benefit of calm in that moment. You're moving your body. Anything you can do helps.
Okay, absolutely. That's such a relief to hear. It's all about consistency and not the duration. Thank you for clearing that up. Okay, so here's a concern that especially women come up with. Is it true that women should not do yoga during their periods?
That isn't true at all. In fact, there are specific yoga poses that are great to do when you are on your period. There are yoga poses that can help with the pain. There are yoga poses that can help you to feel calmer. And especially if you do yoga before and after your period as well, you can find special workouts online that align with different parts of your cycle.
Thank you for addressing that, ma'am. Such a clarity is much needed. Then this one connects yoga with weight loss, something we hear about a lot on social media. So the question is yoga only for weight loss or is it only for people who are obese?
I think yoga has a physical exercise component, and that can definitely help with weight loss. It might not be the fastest way to lose weight, but if you find a practice like yoga that you really enjoy and that you can keep up for a long time, you want to keep on going back to yoga classes, you want to keep on practicing, then it's definitely going to help you keep your body in shape in the long term. Another great thing about yoga for weight loss and health is that it will make you feel better about yourself because you will be learning new skills. I think that you will, like, saying I've lost a kilogram might feel great, but saying I've lost a kilogram and I've learned to do a headstand, well, that'll be even better, right?
Yeah, so that's so well said. Yoga is truly for the mind and not just our waistline. So now
Yeah.
moving on to the next one, it's about pushing the limit, something beginners often feel pressured about. Do we really need to push our body beyond its limit in every stretch to benefit from yoga?
No, yoga is a personal practice, so you can make a personal decision about how you want to practice yoga. On days when you feel stressed and tired and you just want to relax, then you don't have to push yourself far at all. On days when you feel like you need a challenge, then that's the day to push the boundaries a bit.
Beautifully explained, ma'am. Listening to the body instead of forcing it, that's a lesson in itself. Okay, so here's one about the ever popular Surya Namaskar. Can everyone practice Surya Namaskar safely or are there exceptions?
There are some exceptions. If you are pregnant, you should definitely do some research before you carry on practicing, especially in the first trimester. You might want to modify your Surya Namaskar. You wouldn't want to be continuing with, say, upward facing dog or cobra pose, as it might be damaging for the baby. There's some people with back issues, different health conditions who should not practice an unmodified sun salutation. But I think for most healthy people, Surya Namaskar is great. And if you can't practice Surya Namaskar, there's also a Chandra Namaskar, a moon salutation, that has some different poses and can work for different people. You should definitely look that up. I find it really fun.
Oh, that's very helpful. It's good to know where caution is needed. So, ma'am, any myths you hear that needs to be burst, like according to you?
Let me think. Well, I kind of have a question for you. I sometimes hear people say that they think that there are too many white women in the yoga industry and that it's easy to forget the roots of yoga, that we're not being respectful to the roots of yoga. So I want to know what you think about that.
I guess it's very important to, it's upon you that how do you want to carry it on. And if you're really into it, then you should go on with it. So to be
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
I try to make my practices genuine and respectful. I hope that comes through for you guys.
Yes, ma'am. What a powerful reminder that you have put it in. Okay, so
other myths, I'm trying to think if I've heard of any other common yoga misconceptions. Something that I hear often is that people want to know if they have to be Hindu to practice yoga. And I really don't think you do, because yoga is a spiritual practice. It is a cultural practice, but it is not an explicitly religious one. Even if you are Christian, Buddhist, atheist, you can still get the benefits of yoga, especially as a lot of the spiritual language is referring to nature as a whole, or connecting with other people as opposed to any kind of God or religious figure. Is there anything else anyone would like to talk about?
Yeah, you can put it on in the chat box, or you can just raise your hands if you have any myths that you want to get cleared out.
Earlier when I had technical difficulties, it was because my tablet overheated from being in the sun, which was really unexpected given I'm in Norway, but given that it is we're just a little bit out of the Arctic Circle here, so the sun rays are way more direct than in any other part of the world right now. So that's what happens.
Mom, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Have you ever been to the land of yoga?
Excuse me, I didn't. The signal cut out a little. Would you mind tapping that for me?
Mom, have you ever been to the land of yoga?
The land of yoga?
Like, have you ever come to India?
I don't think so. It sounds. Is it a musical band? I think. But I haven't heard of it. But please, I'm definitely gonna find out about it now.
Ma'am, the land of yoga is often used to refer India, which is apparently the birthplace and the spiritual homeland of yoga.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. That was a really nice explanation. But no, I sadly have never been to India. This is something that I really would like to do, but hopefully in future. Recently I've been saving money to be able to go on this student exchange because I'm visiting family in Norway, but I'd love to travel more later. have any of you ever been to South Africa? That's where I grew up.
I'm not South Africa, but North Africa, I've been there. Egypt.
I've seen lots of the photos of India, and I have lots of friends from India, and it looks like a really beautiful place. It was actually Ayusha asked me to give this class, and we've been friends online for a while, so I've been hearing quite a lot about India and how it is to live there. Has anyone else got something they'd like to say? But one thing I'd like to say is thank you to all of you for inviting me to be part of your International Yoga Day experience. Given I'm really far from home and I'm far from my home gym and the class people I usually practice yoga with, it was really great to be here.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for those clearful and thoughtful answers. We are sure a lot of mind just shifted. Now, as we are running a little short on time, but your questions and thoughts matter. So don't worry, you can share any questions or mythbusters with us on our Instagram story. Just visit the official page of Nss Sce and let's keep the yoga talk going on online. Now we are now transitioning to the quiz session. I would like to hand it over to Satakshi to lead us through this exciting segment.
Good evening, everyone. My team and I are super excited to have you all here for today's fun-filled and energizing event, Yoga Charades. Whether you're here to win or just have fun, you're in for an exciting ride. So, buckle up, bring out your inner quiz master, and let's get started. A QR will be displayed on the screen, and the link for the same will be dropped in the chat box. Join in through your preferable method. The quiz has multiple choice questions with no negative marking. The final ranking will be based on the total points and the speed of the responses. So join in and let the fun begin. Ma'am, I request you also to join in if you wish to.
I'm definitely going to join in.
Thank you. Can we have the QR? Yeah.
Joinmyquiz.com.
Tanisha, can you drop the link in the chat box? And you can join in through the link.
I am joining.
Hurry up and join in. We are just about to begin. Quick, we are waiting for a few more people. You can still get in. That's 50 participants, I can see. The excitement is quite evident through the popping emojis. More people can join in. Then we can start the quiz. Others also, please show your love through the emojis. It's lovely seeing you all. I guess we can start. Go on, everyone. See, people have started reacting. People have started answering. Oh, we have our first leaderboard update. Let's see. Yes. It's Ritika from Sanyukt. Then Tulika has taken over. Rajoshi now. Come on, everyone. Everyone is climbing up the ranks. Yes. Lakshya is taking on. Rajoshi has maintained a continuous streak of 5. Lakshya is also going on with the streak of 5. We have somebody taking over. Yeah, it's Arpita. Yeah. Rajoshi is taking over with a streak of 7. Nice. Oh my goodness, there's a lot of
Remember, folks,
variation.
even if you're not on the leaderboard yet, the game is not over. Every question is a new chance. Eyes on the screen, hands on the keyboard.
All right. Anyone can win. Oh, I see. Lakshya lost the streak. Rajoshi is going on with 9. Damn, that's nice.
9.
Lakshya has a streak of 1. Okay. I see Rajoshi is leading. It's nice.
With that 10 continuous streaks. That's great.
Exactly. That's great. Mom showed up on the leaderboard. Mom seems to be among the top 5.
Everyone is fighting for the second, third, and fourth place.
Yes, but Rajoshi is consistent. That's too good.
With 12 continuous streaks.
"13 now."
It's getting intense.
That's nice.
It's getting
really intense.
at the top. We have a new name on the leaderboard, Garf.
Yes. Seems to be in the 3rd position. We have ma'am also showing up. But Rajoshi is consistent. She seems to be in yoga, I guess. You practice it every day or something. Really want to know it from her now.
I guess she does.
Yes, she definitely does. Okay, so we have the scoreboard.
We have the final scoreboard here with Rajoshi leading with 14 continuous streaks. And on the second position, we have Piyush. And on the third position, we have Garv. And on the fourth position, we have Swaha. And on the fifth position, we have a man. Congratulations, everybody.
Well done,
Yeah.
everybody.
Well done.
This was actually a little bit of a challenge for me because I first learned all my yoga pose names in English as I was teaching English classes.
Right. So let's give a big round of virtual applause to everyone who participated. And now is the moment to reveal the top 3 scorers. It's Rajoshi leading with a streak of 14 in the first position. Then we have Piyush and then Garv. Wow. Many congratulations to everyone. Thank you all for being such enthusiastic participants. Hope you had as much fun playing as we had hosting. And until next time, stay curious, stay quizzical. I would now like to hand over the mic to Arpita to continue with today's proceedings.
Thank you, Satakshi. Good evening, everyone. My name is Arpita Raj, and it is a privilege to conclude this inspiring celebration of International Yoga Day by delivering the vote of thanks. I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to a program officer of Nss Sce, Professor Menaki Raut ma'am, for her inspiring guidance and valuable insight. My sincere thanks also goes to Professor Shubharshi Darshana ma'am and Dr. Raghunath Dey sir for their meaningful contributions to our organization. Additionally, we are deeply thankful to Dr. Ajay Kumar Parida sir for sharing his invaluable perspectives, which added great value to this occasion. We would also like to thank our program coordinator, Mr. Prabhat Kumar Rao, sir, and our deputy director, Dr. Kajal Parashar, ma'am, whose esteemed leadership and invaluable guidance have been instrumental in shaping the success of this event. Your distinguished presence has greatly enhanced the significance of this occasion. A heartfelt thanks to our skilled yoga instructor, Ms. Daffodil De Jaeger, for guiding us to today's session with such dedication and positivity. Your efforts have inspired us to embrace yoga as a way to nurture both our physical as well as mental well being. I would also like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to all the volunteers and everyone working tirelessly behind the scenes. Your dedication, hard work, and seamless coordination have been the backbone of this event's success. Your energy and commitment reflect a true spirit of yoga, a unity of mind, body, and the soul. A special thank you to all the participants present here for joining us today and making this celebration so meaningful. Your enthusiasm and engagement have truly enriched this event. Let us carry today's lessons forward to foster peace, unity, and mindfulness in our lives, embracing the principles of harmony and the balance that yoga teaches us. May we strive to incorporate these values into our daily routine, cultivating a sense of inner calm and the resilience that can positively impact not only our well being, but also the communities and the environment we are a part of. Namaste.
Namaste.